So what we're going to do in this video is start a new thread. You need to thread onto your needle about 1.5 meters of thread again. If you found that a little bit difficult to deal with, then just use a little bit less thread than last time. First of all, it's best to count down the loops and see if there are any other loose loops. And mine are fine, so I've already reinforced the top 3 loops and the bottom 3 loops, so I need to start somewhere in between. I'm going to count down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 loops. I'm going to go in the spine where there are 8 loops, and go into the next one. Right, oh, before I do that, the tail this time just needs to be long enough so you can hold on to it and stop it being pulled through. At this point I've gone down too many beads, but as we're not adding beads, it's not so vital that we don't go back through the beads, because that's not going to interfere with the flow of the necklace. That one's come through okay anyway. So here we go. I'm going to do it exactly the same way as we did for the finishing the thread and the tail thread. I'm going to go through 3 loops. At the end of each loop, I'm going to make a half hitch knot, picking up the first thread that went through, making a loop and going through, and then going back into the spine where the loop ends, and travelling up the spine towards the last bead, spine bead you put on. So this is where we're coming out. So we've got 1 loop done. We'll do another loop, there's the importance of, oh no, here we go. As you can see, we're starting to need the holes in the loops, in the beads, and that's why we need such large loops in our spine beads, because the spine beads take a lot of travelling through with the thread and the needle, and after it gets quite a few passes, it does actually get quite difficult to move through the spine. Again, just to prove it's not a very exact science, I've found a loose bead here, loose loop here, so I'm going to go through that one. So that was up rather than down. and I'm going to do a half hitch knot at the top of that one, and then because I travelled up that set of beads, I'm going to go down the spine, and here we go. Top of that bead, and I've actually come up quite near the top now. So you should be able to see quite clearly now on there. The thread is coming out of the last loop on the spine, and here we go, there's our last loop. So we just carry on before, hold on to your last loop, pick up 1, 2 spine beads, 1, 2, 3 arm beads, highlight bead, 1, 2, 3, the second arm, and holding on to the last loop you made, count down the ones already on the spine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go up the 5, pull up the beads, flip the new one round, and again the 2 beads you've just put on. The tail thread on this, on the beginning thread, when you start a new thread, is you just cut it off with a pair of scissors, and again you need to cut it close to the beads. So you continue like this until your bracelet is as long as you need it to be. Now the classic thing to do would be to measure round your wrist, but what you have to take into account is that your bracelet needs to be 2 centimetres longer than your measurement for your wrist, because you've got the bead this end and the fastener bead and the fastener loop at the other end, and they will take up another couple of centimetres. You'll also need to take account though of the amount of slack you want in your bracelet to give it a bit of play, unless you like your bracelets particularly tight. So there you go, keep on going until your bracelet is as long as you need it to be, and in the next video I'll show you how to do the measurement and how to make the fastener loop end of the bracelet.